Hey, good morning, it's me again. You know, I'm looking at this stuff that's going on, and I'm coming up with a conclusion. Two conclusions. First one is that P.T. Barnum was right, and I don't think that the point that not that many people know who he is the reason why things are happening the way they are. But P.T. Barnum notoriously said one time, there's a sucker born every minute. And you can see this happening. It happened, during the election. People got sucked into this somehow or another. They weren't looking specifically at what's going to happen to them, to their jobs, to their, they forgot that the Republicans are notorious for making these decisions without having any other plan in place. They're just doing away with things. They're not replacing them with anything. So you're going to have hundreds of thousands of people out of work, unemployed, broke. I think he wants you to come crawling back to him and ask him to and re-elect him or whatever. But I got to tell you something. I'll die first before I do that. I'm done with this shit, That's I just can't believe what goes on. It doesn't make any sense. How stupid are people? How complacency has ruled this country now. Well, let's just sit and watch it. It'll get better. No, it won't. Not in your lifetime, anyhow. Not in mine, either. Here's another story. Okay? There are basically two people right now who are trying to get this Democratic Party to do something. Bernie Sanders, who's actually an independent but who sides with the who calls himself a Democratic Socialist, and AOC, Ocasio-Cortez, she's out there trying too. Ocasio-Cortez has a recognition problem, I think, but she's trying to do the right thing. She's trying to get people to listen, to stand up and fight. But because nobody's doing that in the Democratic Party, and basically people feel they have no voice because there is no respect for the Democratic Party anymore, I see a lot of violence in the future. Which will probably play right into Trump's hands because he'll declare martial law. There'll be no more elections. And there'll be stormtroopers in the streets. The Proud Boys and the QAnon guys that are sitting around waiting for this to happen. His thug force in waiting as it is. I don't know what's going to happen in terms of the future. But I don't see a bright future for the United States. I see quite possibly losing wars in the future, being run over by either Russia or China or North Korea. Because Trump doesn't make deals that make everything okay. Trump makes deals that makes him money. And he's making money now. If he had lost this election, he not only would have been in jail, I believe, but he would be broke. Because he didn't have cash to pay his bills. Billionaires paid his bills, bailed him out of trouble. Because they know he's an idiot and he'll do what they tell him to do, so long as they pay him. So long as he gets to do a couple of things that he wants to do that make absolutely no sense whatsoever. And he can go around and say, I made a deal. No, you didn't, asshole. Things are still screwed up. Look at Gaza. You want to go over and you want everything to be shitstormed over there so that you can build a resort. So you can retire. God. if there was a legitimate, some legitimacy to this government, we could get rid of him tomorrow with the 25th Amendment, but we can't do that because we don't have the power. And that's why he's gonna not prevent the 2026 elections, because if they happen and he loses that majority, he is gone. He and his little fairy friend Musk, you know. I wonder how many of his kids are really his kids and not something where he found a test tube and poured it inside. You know what I'm saying? I know that sounds disgusting, but he's just, you know, a disgusting individual. I've been doing videos for a year or so now, over a year. I don't have a lot of subscribers. I don't have a lot of people listening to me or viewing me. I wish there were. I don't know that I have a great message that, you know, somebody's going to sit there and say, hey, I agree with this guy. Yeah, but I don't have any answers. I don't live in the United States. I don't want to be in politics in the United States. I don't want to be in politics anywhere. I do this to keep my sanity, and because my livelihood is being threatened, my Social Security. I have no way of getting in touch with anybody to find out what I have to do, or what's acceptable and what isn't acceptable. I have to try and figure this all out on my own now. I'm not sure I can, but my wife just doesn't care. Write a check, doesn't worry. Well, what good is worrying going to do? Might save us some money. Anyhow, but those are the two things that I think that I've noticed for today, anyhow, that P.T. Barnum's statement rings true, and I'm surprised nobody's done that yet. Put that up there. Put that out there, that, you know, I'm sure Trump knew it. I'm sure Trump believes it, too. So does Musk. So does all the billionaires that are out there. It's part of their business acumen. The violence coming I'm worried about, because the violence is going to how do I put this? Violence is going to give Trump what he wants. It's not going to give us what we want. It's going to give Trump what he wants. But you have all these dictatorial minds in government now, and you have the racists out there that are stepping forward, and that's amazing. You know, look, my mom wasn't a big fan of integration or anything like that, but my mom understood one thing: we can't survive without each other. You know, and the fall of apartheid in South Africa proved that you can't have a dominant race as a minority race as the controlling a country. And separation doesn't work. You know, the countries that are fighting, that are civil war, killing their own people, that's just stupidity. You know, what goes on in the Congo and all these other countries in Africa, the Sudan and whatnot, these race wars where they go out and kill everybody. That's just power grabs, and eventually you're not going to have anybody to have control over, you know? Or you're going to find one person that's so good at what they do that you're all going to go away. You know? That's what the United States needs right now. They need somebody who can step up and be a leader. We have no leaders in this country right now. We don't even have followers. We just have drones. You know? Okay, that's it for Friday. I didn't go last night. I said I might, but I didn't. So if you didn't find it, don't worry about it. It wasn't there. You know, you check around 7 o'clock if you're doing nothing, and see if I'm live. I don't know. Sometimes I might be. Sometimes I might not be. Anyhow, that's it for today, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.